press start. Video games! Alright, welcome back. So we'd like to start talking about collector's editions in video games. Are they getting too crazy? Are they getting carried away? And obviously a lot of collectors like collector's editions, but some people just want to buy the game, and it's just been, it's getting a little out of control. I mean, some of these recent collector's editions like Titanfall have just been
ridiculous.
I mean,
$300.
$250 bucks.
$250, which is half the price of the Xbox One, right?
Right.
I'm a collector myself. I like collector's editions.
But there is
They've gone too
nowhere
far.
in your house to
They've gone
put
too
that
far.
statue. There is nowhere in your house to physically put that
Listen,
statue.
let's not talk about my house right
What's the price point? Where do we cap off the collector's edition?
The most I usually go on a collector's edition is about $150 bucks. If the statue's $50
I limit it to about $100 bucks.
I
I went a
put
little
the
bit
100
overboard with Dark Souls 2, but I'm a huge fan, so I went and spent the extra
The
money.
120, 150 range is really where I'm
That's
sitting at.
probably
You're
the
not going
sweet
to
spot.
get the average collector with a $300 collector's
Right.
edition. I mean, you're just not.
You're going to have die-hard fanatics, like the 10
And
people
then
that
is it
bought
worth
the
it?
Titanfall.
You know, is it worth it for them to produce it? If
Right.
it's going to be $300,
The thing
nobody's going to
is,
pay.
you take it out of the box, it's on your shelf, go, nice.
I'm
And
never
it
going to
sits
use
there.
it
Like
again.
that. There it is.
Unlike Borderlands did the collector's editions perfectly.
The loot crates.
The loot crates and the regular bobblehead collector's edition.
Oh.
Two levels for people who wanted to be dedicated or die-hard fans.
Okay.
I think Call of Duty actually started taking things to the next level when it started getting a little carried away with like they had the RC cars at one year, then the next year they had the little flying thing on Black Ops 2.
Well, they started with the supply crate.
Yeah.
That was the first.
This past year with Ghost, they put out a camera. Like, it was just a 1080p camera.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Black Ops 2 had
that was
the
their
crate
biggest.
with the little flying thing.
The
Original Black Ops had the RC car.
Modern Warfare 2
Before that had the
loot
infrared.
crate and the
Yeah,
supply
they had the
crate.
night vision goggles.
Night vision goggles.
Yeah, for Modern Warfare 3.
They're selling these to kids.
Yeah.
Some kids out in the woods right now, like,
And granted,
thanks Modern Warfare 3.
some of these things are
I'd
cool.
see it at night.
That was Modern Warfare 2, actually.
Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. But still, I mean, they get carried away, and like I said, I mean, I think those were only capped at $150, but
It was actually usable.
it was cool. It was
And
usable.
that's when they started doing the three-tier thing. They had the original copy of the game, the hardened edition, and then the complete collector's edition.
Yeah, well, half
which,
that price is coming with the season pass, which is $50 too. So
I mean,
it's all.
You don't even get the season pass when you buy those, do you?
So, yeah, you do.
What about just coming
For
up with
Ghost,
a game that, like,
See, 'cause
you
I
know,
bought a
the
hard
Dark
edition.
Souls 2 collector's editions was what, $100?
$120.
$120.
Came with the statue, the art book, the cloth map, the early access weapons, and the game. The black armor edition of the game, which is probably the craziest steel case I've ever seen. It's awesome. Buy it.
Now, when Splinter Cell Blacklist came out, it came with a remote control plane that you could fly around. That's a little much for the game.
A plane that I could crash into walls?
Yeah,
because those little
you
planes-
crash your plane into walls.
Those little planes do not fly that well.
Not little. It was a big plane.
But you know, if you're that big of a fan of a series, like they come out with a collector's edition Zelda game, people
Sure, you're gonna buy
There's
it.
die
Every
hard
Batman
fans.
collector's edition that comes out, I'm buying.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
great. They're all good.
I mean,
No.
But is it worth it?
I like them.
mean,
I
think
like the
about
collector.
what it costs to make each
No.
one of those
I
and to
bought-
develop that.
I bought the Injustice one, and I didn't even know what was in it.
Just likes to
I
collect.
loved the statue that was in it. It was awesome.
The statue.
It was highly detailed. But it was detailed. It wasn't just a...
you're a Elder Scrolls fan. Are you going to buy the collector's edition of that?
I can honestly say I did not buy it. I bought the downloaded edition and
Did you
said,
download?
move on.
But that's a wicked statue.
It-
It's Molly Ball.
I
with
will
the
I
mace.
will
mean,
I will admit
he's
my
choking.
fiance
It's
did
awesome.
buy it.
It's one of the coolest statues I've ever seen. Much like the Skyrim statue. That was an awesome collector's
Dragon.
edition.
And it
The
came
dragon
in
on the
4
dragon.
pieces. I want you to know that.
The dragon one?
No, the
Or the Molly Ball?
the ball.
Yeah.
One.
Well, if you really want to test the interest, why not split it up? Why not have let's take Titanfall, for example. $250 is just a ton of money.
Why not just produce the
Why
statue?
not produce the statue
Exactly.
at the
For
Atlas and
$150.
then something like that?
So Wolfenstein's doing that.
Yes,
And
that
they're
is
catching
true.
crap about it.
Are they?
Oh yeah, they are getting a
It's
real
not
hellhole
working.
about that.
Like you think it's like, oh, they'll buy the Kachki thing, the cool thing over here, the game over here. They'll be all right, save some money. No, it's not working. Well, Bethesda's just eating it apart. 'Cause customers are going in there like, give me the collector's edition and give me the game. I don't want to buy both. I don't want 2 in transactions. I want them both.
Right.
Don't split it up.
Is it part of the mentality of, oh, I'm getting this for free kind of thing? Like, oh, I'm going to
No,
buy this
because I still
collector's edition.
feel that I know I'm paying more for all the extra stuff. Now, if the game was $60 and I'm getting all the stuff for $60 as well, then yeah, I'm getting all that stuff for free. But it's not. It's $120, $150, $300. You know you're paying for stuff.
You gonna pay $1 million for the Saints Row 4 one?
Somebody will.
So,
I think someone
Or
did.
$7 million for the Destiny.
April Fool's joke.
I
There
know,
was that
but it was
$250,000 ones for Grid 2.
But it
that
was
came with the car.
hilarious.
This is pretty good. Get your ass to Mars.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would buy that if I had $7 million. They cryogenically freeze you for 30 years. That's just awesome.
It's also it's really good for their bones. You know?
Exactly.
It's-
Bone density
it's-
just through
yeah.
the roof.
Awesome.
But going back to the broken up thing, Dead Space 2 actually did the dev kit edition, which they initially started out with a copy of the game in. Once the game came out, they separated it. They put the dev kit stuff on their website to purchase as additional stuff. Cheaper than what it would have been to buy the game and the console and the collector's edition together. So that, I think, worked in their favor.
Okay.
Unlike what Wolfenstein is doing with $100
They just ship
for
it
all the
separately
stuff
completely.
and the game.
Now Wolfenstein's got that Doom demo.
The Doom
Yeah,
beta.
yeah.
It's not a demo,
Oh,
it's a
that's
beta.
right.
Woo, Doom!
And you don't need
Bringing it
PlayStation
back.
Plus to play it.
Jeez, so excited about that.
Yeah.
So what's the biggest collector's edition you know? How is it expensive?
The biggest collector's edition I own,
Yeah.
Dark Souls 2.
Is it the 120?
The $120 is the most I've ever
The
spent.
biggest one I own is a Songbird. It's 150.
Oh, the Bioshock Infinite one? That was a wicked statue too.
It's awesome. I love it.
I got the Uncharted, the God of War one. I mean, I think
I was
the-
disappointed with the God of War 3
I just
one.
like
It
the-
just did not, I was hoping for a die-cast chest of Pandora's box, and it wasn't. It was resin.
Yeah,
It looked like it was die-cast in all the preview stuff.
yeah.
Got any collector's editions?
I got World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've got all three up until Lich King. Then I said enough. So.
I mean, I think there's a recipe in there somewhere. There's a $100 one maybe, someone that would probably push some people over the limit if it's that's some cool stuff. Then there's the extreme, people that we're talking $200, $250. That I mean, if you're that big of a fan of a series, maybe maybe they can get
It's
to make
not
some
going to
money
be
on it.
everybody.
But I don't think that as long as you got a good game and people are that into it, then there's a market for it. But there's no accounting for personal taste. Just know that. All right, we'll be back right after this.
Hey, it's Nine, and Gage and Will got a chance to sit down with Kevin Short from Ubisoft and interview him about the new upcoming title, Watch Dogs. Check it out.
Hey, I'm here with Kevin, the lead story designer of Watch Dogs, right behind us. So, Kevin, Watch Dogs getting a lot of hype. I saw you have a lot of nominations for this game. It's huge. People have been talking about it since last E3. How does that make you feel that this is such a big thing, a big release coming out?
Well, it's a big relief for us. We're pretty excited. Last year we came out and we were the big surprise of E3. We had a lot of promise, but of course this E3 was coming. It was all about coming in and saying, "Hey, you saw the promise last year. It's real, and here's what we've got to show you." So we were really, it's still your baby, and you're still putting it out there, kind of going, "Okay, is everyone going to like this? Are they still on board?" So it was really encouraging and exciting to see that people are still connecting with what we've got to offer.
Awesome, awesome. If you could put it down to the days, how many days do you think you've worked on Watch Dogs?
Oh my God, days. Let me see.
I'll settle for months.
No, days is easily 50, getting up to 1,500 days.
That's a lot of
years.
days.
It's been a lot of years. No, the project's been going for about 4 years, so we've spent a lot of time on this project.
Will, you got something?
What kind of differences between the current gen consoles and the next gen consoles do we expect to see?
Yeah, it's a good question. I got a great analogy for you in what you're going to get. So, first of all, what we always say is the experience that you get, the core experience is the same on all the consoles. But here's the difference. It's like when you go to a movie. You and I go to the movie together, and you go to the 3D version, I go to the regular version. We both watch it. You get more immersed, you're pulled in, you experience all of it, but we come out and we can still talk about the movie. And we know everything about the movie. That's what Watch Dogs is. Players will get the same experience, same multiplayer, the same storyline, side missions, everything. We have the same to offer on all consoles. but next gen just gives that much more fidelity and realism to the world.
Like a crisper graphical style to it, a little bit more cleaner.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the city is you see more citizens. It's full of more people. It's a beautiful, beautiful city. I love it.
So
I'm a fan, you know.
So another big title coming out for Ubisoft is Assassin's Creed 4.
Yeah.
How does Watch Dogs separate itself from the Assassin's Creed series? I know there's a lot of stealth elements and getting around your opponent elements kind of thing and using your environment. How do you be new and different in this almost the same kind of genre?
Well, I don't think we're not actively trying. We don't sort of try to make sure, hey, we got to be different from Assassins. Assassins is a great game, and we love the things that, you know, we've learned a lot from Assassins. A lot of people in our team have come from Assassins. You know, we're in the same studio, so we share a lot of the same information. So we're not actively out to make sure that we're different from them. I think just naturally, though, our game has, you know, our core thing is we've given you a whole city that you can hack at will, and that's just a unique concept in itself. At any time, anywhere in the city, you can approach a mission any way you want, use the city any way you want. Any camera that you are able to see around here, you can hack into it. Any device, those lights, I can kill those lights. So that's our new offering that I think is what's going to excite players.
Along with being able to use anything, where was the balance between doing too much and doing not enough? How did you reach that point to where it's like, I don't feel overwhelmed by everything?
You mean in terms of the city?
Yeah.
What? Okay, that was fairly straightforward to do, because for us what we did was we wanted the city to feel real. That was the main thing, right? Everything that you can do is grounded in reality. So it's pretty easy to do. We just looked at, well, how does the city operate, and how is the city laid out? Chicago is one of the most monitored cities in the world. They have surveillance cameras everywhere. And so it was a natural fit for us to have these cameras everywhere in Chicago. Everyone carries around a cell phone everywhere.
Yeah.
So that was all we did to sort of make sure we managed that sort of stuff. We just wanted it to feel real with the world. Awesome. I think that works really well for people.
Right.
Yeah. Regarding the storyline, do you have like structured missions, and there's actual like character development throughout the game, or how does that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. For sure, we've got a clear storyline. You're following the journey of Aiden Pierce. He's a guy who lives on the wrong side. He's lived on the wrong side of the law. He's made mistakes, and so now he's seeking vengeance on people who tried to hurt him, ended up hurting his family. So you're following him on that journey, and it has clear missions for that. And it's a single story that you're going to follow. But where it becomes more free roaming and open is that you know, the story goes this way, but then we've widened it out here where you can explore all sorts of things around that. You get to live as a vigilante the way you want to live as a vigilante. Once you tap into CTOS, you're connected to the system, and it alerts you to potential crime around you. And it's your choice whether you want to follow that through or not, whether you want to step in or not. And that just happens dynamically in the game.
So if you're basically choosing the right, the wrong in this case. Can you choose to play the game and do what's morally right, or do you have those kinds of options in the game as far as your decision making?
Yeah, we wanted. For us, it was very important that we don't make a clear, you know, right and wrong kind of approach to the game. You know, we don't have a hard morality system that says you're going to become the good vigilante or the bad vigilante. There's a reputation system, and what happens is if you start being a reckless vigilante, you're going to get a bad reputation. Word's going to get out about you. People are going to see what you do, and they're going to respond accordingly. They're going to talk about you in a certain way. The media is going to report about you in a certain way.
So the environment responds to how you're playing around you all the time.
Exactly, and that's really something that reflects on you. You know, you're going to have to think about that. Okay, the city's reacting in a certain way. How do I feel about that? You know, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Small ways it does affect you, though, is let's say your reputation's not so good. If you steal a car, someone's going to see you, and they might or might not. It's all, you know, but they might pull out their phone and immediately call the cops. Hey, this guy's stealing a car. Well, pretty soon the cops are going to be on your ass, and you're going to have to deal with that. If your reputation's good, they may see you and go, it's you, I know about you, get the hell out of here.
Right.
Yeah, just go, I'm not going to call, go. So, you know, and again, those things, we don't entirely know when or where those things will happen, but it's entirely based on how you play the game.
Sporadic, more or less.
Yeah, and it's about what type of vigilante you want to be.
Kevin, one last question. How can I get one of those sweet, sweet T-shirts?
Yeah, we've got this. These I don't know if this one particularly, but we have UB Workshops online. I don't know the address. ubworkshops.com, I think it is.
So you can't help me out at all.
No.
All right. Well,
This
Kevin.
is mine.
Right, Kevin. Thank you for meeting with us. Check out Watch Dogs coming this November. It's next-gen consoles and current-gen.
All right, welcome back. So we're going to be talking a little bit right now about some HD remakes or some possibly games that deserve a reboot. You know, there have been a lot of games over the years that people have enjoyed and like, man, I wish they'd make that for current gen stuff. Man, I wish they'd do this right or that right. And sometimes they'll release an edition of it, but it's not like a full-scale game. You know, it's an arcade version of the game, but not like a full-blown remake of the game. So what are some games that you guys think that deserve a reboot?
And there's no chance of this happening.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I want something to come back from comics back for a day. I want a sequel. I'll take an HD remake of this. I'll take it.
It's just an awesome game.
Awesome game. Ruined my childhood. It made me who I am today. I
That
want
explains
it.
a lot.
I want another one.
Explains so
Yeah.
But if they did a full-scale remake from the ground up, polygon count, textures, the whole 9 yards, I would buy it.
Okay.
Even if I had to buy an Xbox One to get
Would
it,
you buy it if Rare
I
didn't
would
do
buy
it?
it. Yes.
Okay.
As long as they kept the same feel and formula. You know, the world, the design, the combat, you know, the controls, everything felt natural.
Okay.
I think it'd be okay.
I mean, this is a popular enough series that I think people would buy it. But let's take a game that got a reboot that totally failed, like Duke Nukem.
Oh, man.
Duke back in the day was a great series, right?
And
He
it
got it
took,
remade and
like
it just
15
went.
years for
Yeah.
forever to come out.
And
Do you think they spent too long on it?
I think it changed too many hands. I think it started in 3D Realms, and then when they went under, it went to this company, and then they started working on it, they went here. Finally,
many hands in the
Gearbox
pot.
got it, and they handed it off to somebody else, and that's what sunk it.
does Duke deserve another chance?
No.
No,
He's
I think Duke is gone
Just
because
leave him.
there's other things that have filled Duke's shoes.
Yeah,
So
like
they-
Duke Nukem soundboards online, and that's it. That's all I want now.
Maybe make him like a
Oh,
Smash
I
Bros.
know.
character or something.
Yeah.
No. Don't make a Smash for the character. Don't ruin it.
I've got one that kind of got a remake, but not a full-scale remake. I think, you know, the two-player fighting game, Double Dragon, definitely deserves a full. I'd love to see a next-gen version of this game. I
Wait a
think.
minute, Will.
I mean,
Double Dragon Neon came
I
out.
was gonna say,
There it is.
the Neon
Yes,
is out, and it's not what I wanted it to
We
be.
could recreate those high fives if you want.
it's just, you know, it's just,
High five.
it's just, it's okay. No offense. I mean, it's okay, but it doesn't recapture that glory days of the arcade style.
feel.
That feel that you got. You can
Right.
do two players. You can go through it. It's just a classic story. I loved everything about it. That's one game that I definitely like to see. How about you?
Metroid.
Metro?
Metroid had a bad experience on the GameCube and the Wii, and
Do you want a first-person Metroid, or do you want a side?
I want the third-person Metroid.
Okay.
I think it would do a lot better, and if they brought it back to more like the Super Nintendo style Metroid, I think they'd be golden.
I see no reason that doesn't happen on the Wii U. I think they'd be foolish if they didn't do it.
Especially since how they got the
It makes sense.
tablet for
Yeah.
the thing, and they could do so much with that with the Metroid universe. I mean, it would be
The
awesome.
options are endless.
Yeah.
Sam, how about you?
I'm gonna have to say Sonic. And
Sonic?
I love Sonic. It was one of those things that I grew up with, but it has to be the right kind.
Now he's gotten a lot of games.
He does, but it's not.
Now,
They're
do
not
you
the,
want
you know.
a traditional side-scrolling Sonic style game, or do you want like a Sonic Adventure style reboot?
I'd
Because
have to
Sonic
say
Adventure was awesome on the Dreamcast.
It was, and the adventure. I don't want it to make it feel like, you know, a Zelda or something like that. You know, you want it to still have that Sonic feel,
Right.
and have the same characters and the same.
I think
technology.
Sonic would do good as an RPG.
Are you excited for
A
Sonic?
free roam RPG.
And the
No.
verdict's still out. The verdict is still out on that.
They ruined Knuckles.
They kind of did.
Knuckles' design just looks terrible.
Looks like a
He
professional
skips
wrestler.
leg day. I mean, he skips leg day every day. You could see
You think someone who's that fast
You would,
would skip- yeah,
exactly,
would skip
exactly.
leg day.
A guy who clings to walls and can jump 35 feet, you'd think he wouldn't skip leg day.
Something else I really want to see. Anything Crash Bandicoot that doesn't suck.
I agree.
Anything that doesn't suck. Get
I
it away
think
from.
Naughty Dog needs to let them. Well, Activision owns it now.
Yeah.
So
but
I'd be afraid that they would try and cross-platform it, and that might not be good.
They put out
But
some really
if
terrible stuff.
he's
though.
got a good following, though. I think it's a good call. 'Cause
I would like to see Crash come back as the PlayStation mascot,
Ooh.
I mean, he was pretty good with the
because
Megaman out there.
he, to me, was my PlayStation experience.
Yeah.
I played every single Crash Bandicoot on the PlayStation and loved it.
Well,
I
at first-
played Crash Kart Racing.
That was,
Yeah,
a
that was
game.
good. It was
That a
good.
game. At first, Sony was trying to tout him as like their answer to Mario, right? I mean,
Right.
from-
Yeah. And it just kind of flew out of control like they wanted it to.
I've
They
got
picked up some
one.
other games.
I just thought of one that I'd like to see. Full scale, blown out Mega Man.
Okay.
I think Mega Man's seen its days.
Oh man!
Unfortunately,
I think
I
the
don't
best
think-
of what you're going to get is Smash Brothers coming up.
No.
No, I meant not an
Mighty Number
arcade
9.
remake.
Yeah,
I
sure.
mean like a maybe even take them into the like of a third dimensional type of a game. I don't know,
Like another Megaman Legends.
kind of, but real like a next gen Mega Man. I mean that might be a good.
I would
sell.
like to see, if we're going to do a Mega Man remake, I want to see a Mega Man remake with the difficulty of the original Mega Man for
Yeah,
the Super Nintendo,
tough.
Not Super Nintendo, the regular
the
Nintendo.
NES, yeah.
That,
That
I
before
mean,
the X series.
make it like Dark Souls hard.
Nah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Nah.
I'd play the crap out of that game.
But you'd probably lose a lot of players.
I got another game that was really popular way back in the day when on Genesis, a game called Road Rash.
Road Rash. My friends at work think that Road Rash would be a fantastic
Now again,
remake.
they're remaking this on an arcade level, I think, on either Xbox.
Yeah, you wouldn't see a full release of this.
Yeah, it's not like full release, but I think a game like that might just to the next level. I mean, it's a
I think
big
it
enough.
depends on who gets their hands on it, more or less.
I don't remember who originally made it.
How about
Yeah.
Battletoads?
Battletoads?
That's just like that would
No.
cater to the internet
I
audience.
think
a little
they I
bit.
think they need to leave Battletoads where it is, because the cult following behind Battletoads is what make Battletoads.
Yeah, and that's I think you
And
can't do anything else with it.
There
now.
is
You
no
just
level.
gotta
for
leave it how it is.
There is no level.
One more that I had was Star Wars Republic Commando.
Jeez.
That was great. That
Jedi
was great on the
Outcast.
Xbox.
Jedi Outcast for the PC. I
Maybe.
think that would be awesome.
It was okay. But Republic Commando, it was on it had a cliffhanger. I need my sequel. I need something else. I gotta
Maybe
have
that's
it.
what Amy Hennig at Visceral was working on.
If that's it, I'm losing my mind. I'm buying it today. I'm
You
paying
can't buy
for
it
it.
today.
I'm going to.
All right,
I'm buying it today.
We have a time traveler here.
Of course, we could always do a next generation Pong or something like that. That would be so epic. I don't know how many people would buy it, but I'd love to see how they can make that into a new generation game. Just kidding. Anyway, that wraps everything up for today. Blah. We'll see
That
you guys
wraps up
later.
everything for today.
See you guys later.